I'd like to introduce Senate Republican leader Rob Ortt, who is a military hero, just like the hero standing beside me that I want to thank with all my heart. Thank you for your service. Senator Ortt, let me just tell you a little about our leader. In October 2001, Senator Ortt enlisted in the New York Army National Guard in response to the September 11th attacks. He served in the war in Afghanistan, where his mission was to serve as a combat mentor advisor to the Afghan National Police in Kandahar City, which is the second largest city in Afghanistan. And so, Leader Ortt.
Thank you very much, Senator Jordan. Thanks for having me. Well, first of all, I want to dispel one thing. I much like I know these men behind me, I do not consider myself a hero, a patriot, sure, someone who was happy to serve, but as we always say, the heroes are the ones who didn't come back. And I know that that is how every member who is here, the veterans, feel. But I want to thank Senator Jordan for that introduction. I want to thank her for having me here today. I want to thank our hosts, Commander Harold Patchen, for your service and for having us, and all the veterans who are here, who showed up today, by the way. And I want to thank Senator Jordan for introducing this bill and for her ongoing and continued support and commitment to those who have served and fought for this country. You know, there's a lot of lip service that gets paid by elected officials supporting veterans. And there's lots of ways you can do that, no doubt about it. But Senator Jordan backs that up with actions, whether it's her commitment, her votes as a member of our conference on the Veterans and Military Affairs Committee in the Senate, whether it's the introduction of this bill today, or whether it's her support of the Joseph P. Dwyer program and the expansion of that program. And I know that program is doing wonders in her district to prevent suicides amongst our veterans who, according to the VA, take their lives at 22 a day. I mean, you think about that, 22 veterans a day take their lives. That's higher than the civilian suicide. And when you think about COVID, no doubt, we don't really know yet the numbers, but COVID, I firmly believe, will make that worse, will make suicide worse because of isolation, depression, all these things that we all are familiar with now and are aware of. But amongst that veteran community, I believe it will be more acute. And we will need organizations. We will need the Joseph P. Dwyer program, but we also will need organizations like the VFW, like the American Legion, because they're the antidote to veteran isolation. They're bringing veterans together. They're the original peer-to-peer counselors. And these organizations, for the better part of 70, 75 years, have looked out for, advocated, and taken care of our veterans, regardless of branch, regardless of conflict. And Senator Jordan understands that as much as anybody, and that's why she's introduced this bill. We have a $10 billion surplus here in the state of New York, mostly courtesy of one-time revenues from the federal government. But the fact is, we need to make sure that these organizations are here for the next generation of veterans. Not just my generation, OIF, OEF, but the next generation. And if you don't think there's going to be another generation of combat veterans, just turn on the news tonight. It's a more dangerous world today than maybe at any point, or maybe it's just as dangerous. Maybe we like to remind ourselves, to think that, you know, it becomes less dangerous. But I'll tell you what, were it not for some of the men who are behind me here today, it would be a very dangerous world indeed. When we talk about American power, American prestige, American security abroad, that's not some esoteric thing. It looks like these men right here. That's what it looks like. And I want to thank Senator Jordan for her continued support of our veterans, for introducing this bill. I really believe that some of our colleagues across the aisle would support this bill. There's no reason that they shouldn't. I know Senator Jordan has worked with people like Senator Brooks, other people from the Democratic Conference on veterans issues when we've had Joseph P. Dwyer programs. Every year when the Governor Cuomo was the governor, he would take out the Joseph P. Dwyer program. He would make it zero, knowing the legislature would have to fight to put it back in. Senator Jordan led that charge every time. So, you know, while I'm a veteran and I served, and that's something that I'm very proud of, and it influences and drives my service as an elected official, there's other ways to serve and give back to our veterans. And Senator Jordan, I think, is proof positive and a perfect example of how to do that as an elected official. You don't have to have worn a uniform to appreciate and understand and work to support our veterans. And she does that very, very well. And I'm proud to call her a colleague. As a veteran, I'm proud of the work she's doing for veterans, and I'm proud to support this bill here today. And with that, I'd like to call her back up to the podium.
Well, thank you.